All right, boys and girls, today we're going to go ahead and do our CAT strategy activity where we practice that first paragraph so that we're getting our plan down for our on-demand piece. Remember, as far as learning targets go, you're looking to introduce a topic clearly and orient your reader by establishing a situation. And then this is a shorter time frame. We're only in a 30-minute time frame, so we've got to be able to write very, very quickly. So our prompt today, it says, many children play sports. Some people think that kids younger than 12 should play sports just for fun. Other people think that kids can benefit from playing on a competitive team that focuses on winning. So that's your background. Now, your task is, your school is planning the sports that will be available to students for the next school year. Please write a letter to your sports coordinator and tell them your opinion on this subject. Be sure to support your opinion with reasons and supporting details. So that is your task today. We're going to do 5 minutes today on your CAT paragraph. Yes, Noah?
So the opinion is on the writing situation?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is. Okay, you ready? Set? Yes, ma'am.
My thing is not.
That's okay. We'll get it later. We'll get it later. Ready? And go. Okay, time is up. Okay, the step you're going to take next is you're going to trade with a partner. If it's not your usual partner, that's okay. You're going to use your crayons to mark your prompt and make sure that they have all the pieces. I want you to pay really close attention to the context. How did that person introduce it to you? You already know what the topic is because you wrote about it as well, but would that have made you want to read on if you read that without knowing what the whole piece was going to be about? So think about that as you work through it. Go ahead and take some time and mark it. I'll pull up the clues here, the color coding. Go ahead and mark it first and then have your conversation. Take another minute to analyze the writing piece in front of you and get ready to have that accountable talk conversation with your neighbor about what they've done and what improvements they can make, what are their glows, what are their grows, what do they need to work on.
That's why I got off your
Really easy paragraph to
Yeah.
like, and you can talk about like what depression could cause.
We're supporting.
So then your conclusion, it was good, but I really think that your thesis statements, they were really strong. They really made me feel like your opinion was really good.
To start this year off, we did a little bit in the beginning of the year, and then after talking with writing cluster leaders across the district, we realized, on-demand is an area of concern. So I worked on just creating a PowerPoint where it was kind of like a bell ringer activity. Every 2 days we would work on an activity, and we started off with doing things like restating sentences, because when they do their passage base, they have to be able to restate sentences and things like that. And then we got to the point where, okay, we need to really work on this CAT paragraph. So every 2 days we would, I would give them a prompt, and then we built up the feedback through our process pieces. Okay, I start to hear that the feedback is kind of dying out. Are there any folks out there who feel like there was a very strong context, like it wasn't just the assertion? Because I'm kind of walking around and I'm seeing a lot of blue as the first thing, which means that they put their assertion the very first thing. What about context? Who feels like someone had a strong context that we want to share? Okay, Jared, what do you think?
Well, my context was touchdown, the home team wins the game, and my assertion was all kids should be able to play competitively, because it shows that the home team won and they were playing competitively. Also, it shows that they're playing a sport against another team.
Okay.
And they're not just playing for fun.
Okay. So it was definitely competitive because they were keeping score and things like that. But right off, I knew that that was about sports, right? It kind of clued me into that. Very good. It doesn't have to be your opinion first thing, because sometimes, do you feel like if you give someone your opinion first thing, they may say, whoa, wait a minute, I may not agree with that, and maybe they won't really read carefully what you're writing. So you have to be careful with that. You want to introduce them and ease them into your topic. Okay, do I have anyone out there who wants to share one so that we can give some feedback on today's meet? Who would like to share one? You volunteer? Sam, you want to share yours?
I'll share Noah's.
Share Noah's. Okay, I'll go ahead and put this up here. Now remember, on today's meet, you're giving grows and glows. You're going to put some information on there that you feel like he can make improvements, and things that you feel are really good, so give him some feedback. So what do you guys think? What can we work on? What can we help Noah with here? So go ahead and put it into your device. I'll follow along. And then we'll give Noah a transcript of this so that he can work it out. Make sure when you give feedback, you tie it back to something directly in his piece and not something like, I like your sentences. Be very specific, because broad feedback does not grow you as a writer. You've got to be very specific. Okay, go ahead and wrap up your ideas. And then is there one more person out there who would like to put theirs under there for some grows and glows, some feedback from your peers? Okay. All right, we're going to put Mia's up here under the document camera so you can see her context and assertion and all those parts. Okay, let's go ahead and wrap it up. Now Mia and Noah, you will get a transcript of that so that you can see your feedback, so you have something that you can work with. I want to go back very quickly to the task, because does Mia in her piece mention anything about competitiveness? No. Okay. So let's go back and look at the task, because sometimes we really have to dig into that task before we jump into it, right? I know I put you under a time frame and you have only 5 minutes to write, but I want you to think about this. The task was to write a letter to the sports coordinator to let them know what sports should be available. Are basketball and soccer competitive?
Yes.
Okay, does she need to mention that necessarily? Does it ask her, let me flip it over, does it ask in the task, does it say that you have to say whether it's competitive or not? What does that mean? Tell them your opinion on this subject. So is the subject sports or is it competitive sports? What do y'all think? Okay, Sam says competitive sports. Do we have anybody who agrees or disagrees? What do you think, Ryan? Why do you agree or disagree?
I agree, because it says kids younger than college shouldn't just play sports just for fun.
Okay.
It doesn't really talk about that, so I mean, that's kind of the main focus.
Okay, so it is the main focus, right? Abby, did you want to add on?
Yeah, I agree with Sam, because the writing situation, it doesn't talk about like what sports, it's talking about like the two opinions. Like some people think that they should just play it for fun, and some people should play it for to compete. And
Okay.
it says, give your opinion on that subject.
Okay, so with Mia's, although she has a context and assertion, or an assertion and thesis statements, do you feel like she completely met that task? No. No. I mean, so do you see how something well written can be off topic and maybe not score as well? Okay, so you really need to dig into that situation and the directions to make sure that you are hitting the target, because you can have a well-written piece, and if it's not hitting the target, then it won't score as well. We worked a lot on the 6 traits of writing and things like that to get them to where they needed to know that vocabulary so they could talk about it. But right now what we do is just every couple of days we do that writing prompt. They switch papers, they mark them so they can visually see the different components of the cat. And then after that, they give feedback, and we added another element that they like, the Today's Meet, where they can get their devices out, because that's the way they like to communicate nowadays. So they get out, and I picked 2 students to receive the feedback. They get that feedback, and they really enjoy being able to look at the transcript and saying, oh, I see where they're saying that, or okay, I know what you're saying. And it's a hard copy, and they can take that next time and make those changes when they're doing their next one.